Hello everyone and welcome back to Part Development in Kerbal Space Program 1.12 with Realism Overhaul. And what we have here is the Tugmeister, a new part I developed that has a very particular purpose. It looks very unassuming right now, but it does have an animation that goes like that. And I don't know if I've got, I do have a deploy limit, so maybe we can see that in detail. So like that. And it folds back like that, and that's so that the RCS can sort of wrap around a payload. And we have the use of docking ports to attach to said payload. And is Hydrolox RCS, and it's a Hydrolox thing because I'm basically going straight for Hydrolox for most of my things these days. And the main payload that it's supposed to be carrying around are the NTP drop tanks that I made, not that. And it'll sort of go like that. So the problem is that this tank has to fit within the NTP drop frame. Here's the problem, right? We do have colliders on these outer things. It used to be that the NTP drop frame only had the upper portion, but obviously for structural integrity, we know that it needed these side ones at least, and that's going to make it harder to slip the drop tank in, especially since the arms are cutting it a little bit close. I have done it a little bit too tightly here. So we are going to test the Tugmeister for the first time. That's what this is, and we are going to see whether it can remove the drop tank. I'm going to cheat it into space. We're going to try to remove the drop tank and then put it on again. Okay, well, that's how it looks out here, though I probably should add some extra shininess to the drop tank foil. It really shouldn't be quite like that. I don't know why it's so dull. But anyway, let's get it into orbit. Well, I see that RCS working. I don't quite see this one, but maybe... Okay, well, those little guys' RCS is working. It's just that it's not showing the puffs. I'll have to take a look at that. Alright, now for the main test. It could all explode once I release it. Or it could get caught. Or did I actually undock it properly? I've always had trouble with my docking ports if I attach them in the VAB initially. They don't like to undock then. So, I'm gonna try something else. I don't know why that is. I would like a solution to that. Why is it that when I've docked two of my docking ports together, they don't want to undock? That is a persistent problem. But we can shove a stack separator in between them, for now, and then use that to solve the problem. I feel like it's stuck. Oh, but... wait. Oh, but this side can go like this. Huh. Okay, well, we're gonna have to do something about that stack separator. Okay. Well, it wouldn't be a real test unless we were all over the place, after all. Space junk floating there. Okay, it works, even though that's a super tight fit. Seems like that works for us. Ultimately, I got a fix for the docking port problem, the one where docking ports wouldn't separate if they were attached together in the VAB. It seems like the problem is that I had a docking node transform in Unity. It seemed like that was the right thing to do, but apparently the reference attached node in the docking module needs to just be the top stack node, the one that would normally attach to things, and not the docking node, even though the docking node still has to be there. And I don't understand this at all. But there has to be a docking node transform, but the thing that the docking module is referencing is a top node. So there you have it. That's the solution. By the way, just as a side note, it really isn't enough to warrant a video on its own, but I did make an improvement to the Asuka spaceplane cockpit, and that improvement is that the Kerbals now sit on cushions so that they can be raised up and they can still potentially see out the window, but they might need 3 cushions actually, to be honest. But yeah, it's still a little bit better. They aren't floating in mid-air on the seats. They now have their cushions. So I just wanted to make note of that. Eventually I'll update the scramjet pack so that that will be effective. But yeah, improvements are being made to my mods. So with that being a final note, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do press like. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time.